Have you ever met the connector? Well, he ponders, he helps, he creates, he writes, he speaks. He basically connects people and brings them together. I speak about Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group. At psandallmarketinggroup.com, you will receive an assembled group of Paul's contacts and connections that cross into many sectors of life. Please contact Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com if you are in the market for a wide array of services. Again, please contact The Connector, Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com with any questions. And now, here's Paul Solano, the host of Paul Ponders.
Welcome to Paul Ponders. My name is Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com. Thank you for joining me for my foray into podcasting. It is great to be collaborating with my friend and associate, Chalonzo Amos of PodPro Entertainment, to bring you some fun, exciting, and informative podcasts. For many years, I've been referred to as the connector, or in Greater Boston circles as the connector. With psandallmarketinggroup.com, I've created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please sit back and relax and listen to today's podcast. If you are driving or operating heavy machinery and just listening, then please just listen and stay focused on your task at hand. Thanks again for listening. Enjoy my ponderings. Let #Paul Ponders begin.
Greetings, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Hope all is going well in this new year and everyone is having a healthy and happy new year. This episode is a very sad episode, and it's a tribute to a dear friend, former employer of mine, donor, friend, just a true gentleman in every sense of the word. But this is a tribute to Mr. Joe O'Donnell. Joe passed away on January 7th of this year, and it's really quite a loss for so many entities, so many families, and all. And I just want to send my condolences to Joe's wife, Kathy, and his daughters, Casey and Kate, and the rest of the family. And Joe is really quite a man, and he will be missed. For those of you who do not know Joe, Joe was just larger than life. He was an entrepreneur. He was a philanthropist, great husband, great father, just a great person. And I had the opportunity to meet Joe in person when I worked at Malden Catholic back in 1999. I had heard about Joe when he was a player coach of the Hosmer Chiefs. He used to compete against the Augustine Athletics in the Intercity Baseball League. And Joe was friends with my friend Dave Cayazzo, and I would always read about Joe in the newspaper. I would always read about his antics, if you will, in the baseball circles, but what he did for a living. And as Joe would joke, in many years down the road, when I had the opportunity to meet him in 1999, he said, "Hey, I sold popcorn, I sold candy. That's what I did for a living, concessions." But Joe was just a truly remarkable man. Went to Malden Catholic, graduated from Malden Catholic in 1962, went to Exeter Academy, and went on to go to school at Harvard and go to Harvard Business School, and just had a really great career. And he opened up Boston Concessions Group, BCG, back in 1976, and I had the opportunity when I got the job as Director of Institutional Advancement at Malden Catholic back in 1999 to really meet with Joe. Joe was one of the leading, if not the leading donor at Malden Catholic at the time, with the gentleman, the late, great Gerard Doherty. They really held the school together for many years because of their love of Malden Catholic. And they did whatever it took to make things happen in the world of Malden Catholic. And the motto of Malden Catholic is plus ultra, which is more beyond. So I had the opportunity to meet with Joe and to sit down with him on many occasions. And we had many meetings together. And I will never forget Joe always having his yellow pad of paper with him and just diagramming the plays, if you will, the plays on fundraising and friend-raising. It played in big time into my career at Malden Catholic and the development committee that I worked with. And long and short, I just learned so many lessons from Joe about fundraising, friend-raising, and just making it happen and understanding the value of donations, about the relationships, and just making it happen in life. And I also got involved with, and this is just par for the course, with the Joey Fund, which is named after Joe's late son, Joey, who died at age 12 of cystic fibrosis. And if you haven't heard about the Joey Fund, please look it up, joeyfund.org. And it's really just an incredible organization. And I got to meet so many wonderful people at the Joey Fund. And to this day, I still am in touch with them and still do a little work on the side with them and help support them in any way possible. But just a shout out to the wonderful people I've met through the years at the Joey Fund, from P.M. Spitzer, the director, to Karen Kelly, to Tracy Lund, to Terry, to Cindy, and the rest of the crew. Just an incredible organization with great people who are still there 25 years down the road. Just an incredible feat for anyone in the fundraising and advancement world to really be at one position for such a long period of time. So Joe, Mr. O'Donnell, pretty much just raised over, I would say, $450 million just for cystic fibrosis for the Joey Fund. And it's because of his hard work and the support of many individuals down along the way that really it's a compliment, I guess, when the Make-A-Wish Foundation takes the actual cystic fibrosis charity off the list, where no one could really get a wish granted anymore, because people are living longer. Children are living longer because of all the hard work that the Joey Fund and the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation have done. And that's just a remarkable thing. And it was through the tireless efforts of Mr. O'Donnell and the many supporters of the charity that have really made it happen to eradicate and to find that cure for cystic fibrosis. I think of, I believe it's the name of the chief prescription chief drug was, I believe, Kalydeco, and I think it was maybe Orkambi. I believe I should have looked this up before I got on this podcast, but it's stuff like that. I believe the Vertex Corporation was instrumental in finding the cure. And it's because of the leadership and the perseverance, the persistency that Mr. O'Donnell showed, that he brought to the table. And again, there's that Malden Catholic motto of plus ultra, of more beyond, just making it happen. And also, I remember working on many hot dog safaris and film premieres and casino nights and annual dinners and just making it happen. It's just something that I really just enjoyed interacting with Mr. O'Donnell and members of his family, and made this true gentleman just rest in peace, and just let him know that he left a mark on me and my family. My daughters even remember volunteering for those hot dog safaris, and just hanging out with some pretty wonderful people and meeting some wonderful people. Eddie Endelman, got to hang out with Eddie Endelman, who was co-founder with Joe O'Donnell. It was just really great. I remember going to I believe it started at the Palace, which ironically is owned by my employer. It was owned by the Robot family. That's where the first hot dog safari was, and then it just outgrew its space and went over to Wonderland and Suffolk Downs, and really just a great event just to raise money for cystic fibrosis and the Joey Fund. And when I think back to the tribute, which was held over in Harvard Yard at the church over at Harvard Yard, and it was streamed through the YouTube, and it was something where friends and family were also at Harvard Business School in an auditorium in a room. Something that basically Joe's daughter Kate talked about some lessons in life that that everyone could have learned or did learn or really just learned from Mr. O'Donnell and what he was all about with his purpose and his drive and the true sense of accomplishment and all. And I'm trying to hark back to those lessons, but I'm just going to attempt to just spout off those lessons that I want you to ponder as you go about your day, and just think about what this remarkable man, Mr. Joe O'Donnell, had talked about. He walked the walk and he talked the talk, and he really did. I remember Kate saying that relationships are the most important thing that one has in the world. And yeah, I've joked in my opening, that I'm the connector. Okay, it's all about relationships, and it is so important to in fact make those relationships, those bonds with people, with entities, and just make it happen in life. I remember lesson number 2, always to stay on your pedestal, know your worth, and hold yourself to the highest of standards. And that's really something that one has to stay within him or herself, and just know where you are in life. And Dana Brown, former principal of Malden High School, and head basketball coach and director of the MGYB, I would always remember him saying, "Walls talk." So it's always something that really is true. Always know where you are. Always stay on that pedestal and know your worth, and hold yourself to the highest of standards. Lesson number 3 that Kate talked about: there is always a way to reframe something. I think back, and I learned a lesson way back when, BITD, back in the day when I was in high school, about the word semantics being the most important word that you'll ever hear in your lifetime, that you'll ever learn. And semantics is the science dealing with the meaning of words, and how you choose to offer those words and to make those statements in life is very, very important, and how people interpret those. So when you go to reframe something and you look at the situation at hand and how it's being presented, I believe it's really important to just reframe something into that win-win position. If we look at the studies of Dr. Stephen Covey in one of those 7 habits of highly effective people, you're basically looking at that win-win situation. And everyone has to walk away from the table a winner. And one of the things I learned from Mr. O'Donnell in the negotiations as he scribbled on that yellow pad of paper without putting any words on the paper. It was all lines. It was diagrams. It was how to go about a situation. Everyone has to come across and walk away knowing that they were a winner, whether it was the donor, whether it was the institution, anyone in life. And that's really one of the secrets to his success and one of the secrets to the success of life. Getting back to daughter Kate's lessons that she expounded on, I believe it was lesson number 4, leave the world a better place. And really, without a doubt, that is so, so true. And Mr. O'Donnell did leave the world a better place with his impact on so many different charities and so many different walks of life. Just absolutely incredible. And everyone should, in fact, look at their own lives and what they're doing, their families, their friends, with the charities involved. And it is important to really just look at the big picture and not get caught up in the petty stuff in life and really look at what life is all about. And I believe lesson number 5 was, the family. Family always comes first. Just make that a happening thing in life. Your family comes first, the people around you, your loved ones and all. And Joe was just a devoted husband, devoted father. Family, he was an uncle. I'm friends with Joe's nephew, Alex. I know his nephews, but I know Alex the best. And Alex and I have some really great chats about life. And it's really important just to look at those lessons in life that are passed along from our the older generation, the generation that really had an impact on us. And we need to carry that torch. We need to carry those messages forward in life. And I thank Mr. O'Donnell for providing me with that opportunity in the world of fundraising and friend-raising, but also the world of hospitality. I got to meet and work under and work with my mentor, Mike Sharon. Shout out to Mike for teaching me the way, the lessons that needed to be learned in the world of hospitality and in life in general. And I got to work with another great mind, with Mr. Joe Armstrong. And he also spoke at Mr. O'Donnell's Celebration of Life back in January. And I'll tell you, just so many great stories were told, so many great stories about Joe, lots of laughs, and just some really great stories. So that about closes this episode of Paul Ponders. I want to thank the sponsor of this episode. I should have done this in the top of the episode, but I do want to thank Mr. Scott Albertson and Project142.org for sponsoring this episode. If you refer back to Paul Ponders, episode number 17, I believe, I had Scott on as a guest with Paul P.J.C. Swerter of Gotham Whale. And Scott was telling us all about Project142.org and his dedication around the nation. So, Scott, thank you for for being a sponsor and always promoting Paul Ponders across your platform. And here is our chance at Paul Ponders to provide you with a platform for spreading the word with your dedication around the nation. So again, may Mr. Joe O'Donnell rest in peace. Our condolences go out to the O'Donnell family, and never lose sight of what's important in life. And that about does it for this episode. Tune in for another episode coming up of Paul Ponders. Hashtag Paul Ponders. Hashtag indeed.
I trust that you have enjoyed Hashtag Paul Ponders. Again, my name is Paul Solano of PS&All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com to do some more pondering. Many thanks to my longtime collaborative friend and associate, Alonso Amos of Pod Pro Entertainment, in bringing you our fun, exciting, and informative podcasts. You rock, Techie Alonso. With PS&All Marketing Group, I created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com with any questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Paul Ponders. Follow us on Twitter at Paul Ponders Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Paul Ponders Podcast. Thank you again for listening to Hashtag Paul Ponders, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website paulponders.com, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment, Hashtag Paul Ponders lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. Hashtag the new radio. Until we meet again, my friend, stay well. Hashtag indeed.